Hi everyone, Chuck Liu here. Some of you might know me as Vina's husband or Evan's dad, and some of you might know me as the bass player at church. I'm also a faculty member at University of Hawaii at Manoa in the psychology department, and one of the things that I research is Asian American mental health. So when the coronavirus started and people started calling it the China virus, I thought to myself, man, I'm really glad to be in Hawaii right now where there are so many Asian Americans because this is not going to go in a good direction. And sure enough, my Asian American friends on the mainland started talking about how they were getting verbally harassed just heading out of the house. I had a friend talk about how he was just sitting on his lanai and someone drove by yelling racial epithets at him, and he didn't know what to do or how to react because what do you do in a situation like that? Some organizations started tracking the types of discrimination Asian Americans were facing, and they ranged from verbal to physical assaults, people getting spit and coughed on, and it also included a few really heinous incidents of stabbings or getting acid thrown on them simply for being Asian. As a kid growing up in suburban New Jersey, I experienced a lot of discrimination, so none of this was too surprising for me given what it's like to be a minority on the mainland. Because I study Asian American mental health, I got in contact with a colleague at Wheaton College, and we decided that we needed to document and study what was happening to Asian Americans during this time. We wanted to know how this COVID-related racism was developing and how it was affecting the mental health of Asian Americans. Even though I was privileged enough to live here and not have to experience it, I know that the Asian American communities on the mainland were definitely reeling from it. As you can imagine, people are pretty anxious and scared about what could happen to them just heading out for groceries. One of the reasons why this is really important to me is because of my faith. I know that God loves us and cares about all aspects of our experience, including our mental health and our well-being. I know that God especially cares about people who are marginalized and discriminated against because He is a God of justice and wants to see the broken parts of our culture and society, like racism, healed so that it doesn't harm people. Part of my understanding of the gospel is that because God has reached out to us and restored us into relationship with God, God also empowers us to work towards bringing people into healthy relationships with each other. Given my skill sets as a researcher and psychologist, I figured that doing this research and then spreading the results was the best thing I could do during this time, so that community leaders, activists, and policymakers have the data they need to support their push against this type of discrimination. It also hopefully helps individuals know that they're not crazy for being affected by this. Some of you have already seen the fundraiser for our study, but if you're interested in learning more or joining in our work so that we can get started in our recruitment of participants, please feel free to check out the link below. Thanks everyone, God bless, and stay safe. See all of you on Sunday.